Today, I'm going to give you my best tips for looking great on a Zoom call. So by now, I'm sure you've seen several videos on how to look great on a Zoom call. The first tip in most of these videos is to find a great light source, like a window.
So you'll notice as I turn this way towards the window,
you want to make sure that you're sitting in front of a nice big open window.
But as any filmmaker will tell you, natural light is unreliable. And what happens when you want to shoot at night? Or if it's raining? The other obstacle that teachers are running into, or maybe you're not a teacher and you're professional and you're starting to work from home, we need something a little more permanent that we don't have to set up and take down all the time. So maybe you're like me and your desk is in the corner of your room, and by corner, I mean corner. And the light source from the window is directly behind you. The complete opposite of what everyone's telling you. So my first tip to you is to find a comfortable workspace, regardless of where the light source is, because we're going to make that work no matter where it's at. So like I was saying, the best workspace doesn't always have the best lighting, but let's not let that stop us, okay? It's more important that you find a workspace that is comfortable and relatively distraction-free. I think at this point we're starting to get the hint that video conferencing is not going anywhere. It's just a really important part of our everyday work life. Okay, so once you find a comfortable workspace, I want you to take a look behind you and check out your background. What does it look like? Right now, if you look at my background, I have some colored LED lights that I can change to add some variety to my backgrounds. And I have things floating around to also add interest to the background, but not something that's going to be terribly distracting. So as far as backgrounds are concerned, make sure it's in contrast with your hairstyle and the clothing that you're wearing so that you stand out from your background. The other thing you need to make sure of is that you're framing yourself, okay? You don't want to look like this. You also don't want to look like this. You also want to avoid bullseye syndrome. And for all you photographers out there, you know that is where the subject's face is right in the middle of the frame. Right in the middle. You don't want that. Ideally, you'll frame yourself like this, where the top of your head is just at the top of the frame. So let me give you some lighting tips. In the absence of natural light, you can buy yourself a light, but do yourself a favor. Again, borrowing from a photographer's bag of tricks, you're going to want to bounce the light off of the wall so that you get a diffused, soft light. The setup I'm using right now, I'm using 2 LED lights, and they look like this, just square lights. And on the back, it has 2 controls right here where you can control the different lighting. So one of them is a white light, and the other one is an amber. If you see right here, I do have a diffuser on here to soften it up as much as possible. On this side, I have the same light, but it's covered with a soft box right here. And the soft box looks like this. What this does is it adds surface area to this light, so it's not concentrated on my face, but it's giving me a nice soft look, which does a great job of emulating natural light coming through the window. Another option is this little LED light that hooks onto my DSLR, and it has a dial back here so you can change the brightness of it. So this is what my Zoom looks like without that light. And now I'll turn on. Not bad, huh? The great thing about this is the price. It's only $20 or $25, and it was made by the same company, so the batteries that I'm using are the same for all of these lights. You could also plug it in, but in a future video I'll show you this whole setup that I'm working off of right now. I wanted it to be mobile, so I didn't want it to be tethered to any kind of cords. A third lighting suggestion that I have is to use your monitors. So if you just create a white JPEG and you open it up on the whole screen, it will light up your face. It helps a little, yeah? With white JPEG and the light. Okay, here's some good lighting, huh? And at that point, again, you can use some more photography tricks where if you place a white piece of paper on your desk, it'll bounce some light up into your face as well. So this thing, I like to turn it on, and instead of having it facing me like this, I turn it around backwards, and I have it bounce off the wall and then onto my face. And from my experience, it works great. Did you know that people will sit through bad video quality, but they will not tolerate bad audio for 1 second? They'll just turn it off. Tip number 2 is make sure your audio is on point. When you're working with a laptop, you have to be close enough so that your audio gets picked up. But one solution to that is to use an external mic. The easiest way to do that is probably with earbuds. Another option is to use an external mic. I love this mic right here. This is a Rode Video Micro. What I love about this mic, you don't have to put batteries in this. It just runs off of the power in the cord. And the quality of audio from this is fantastic, and the price is really cheap. These are under $100. I used to have a different Rode mic that required batteries, and I would always forget to check the battery because there was no battery level on it. And more than one time I had run out of battery and my audio was all jacked up. I also watched a bunch of videos that compared all the different mics, and I couldn't tell the difference, so I went with this one. And then you need to have one of these things right here. You need this to plug it into the headphone jack of your laptop. Otherwise, it just won't work. Okay, and then once you're in Zoom, you want to go down to the bottom left-hand corner to the up arrow, click on that, and make sure that external microphone is selected. And again, guys, everything that I'm talking about today is linked in the description below. So go ahead and click on those if you're interested in anything that I'm talking about today. Lastly, I want to implore you, please, if you're gonna wear headphones, wear some AirPods, some Bluetooth AirPods at least. Do not, under any circumstances, wear a gamer headset with a Janet Jackson microphone coming down from it, because that just looks silly. I've also used this mic. This is a USB mic, so instead of plugging into the headphone jack of your laptop, this plugs into your USB port in your laptop, or your dongle if you have a Mac. So this blue microphone is fantastic. It also produces some great sound. So as you can see, I have the microphone I was just talking about, and I have it attached to this, what looks like a desk mount for a light. Only this one is made for a microphone. That way, when I'm talking and I'm not really close to the camera, I have some great audio. So now we come to tip 3, the camera. All of the videos that I watched in researching this video talked about getting the camera angle right and raising your laptop. So if you look at your laptop, the camera is right here. Instead of putting it on the desk where it's down here, you should put it on a stack of books, or even better, get a stand and raise it up to your eye level or just above. But really, the quality of the video that you're gonna get is only so good because it's a laptop camera. But really, if you wanna get like the bokeh effect, if you look behind me, everything's a little fuzzy and my little twinkly lights are looking frosted. In order to get that, you're gonna need something with a good lens.
Bokeh. It's the aesthetic quality of the blur or out of focus areas produced by a lens. Now, before you can make bokeh, you'll need to produce a shallow depth of field.
So one solution I have for you is just to hook up your DSLR. There is a way to hook it up. And that's what I use as my web camera. I use this camera right here. This is an old Canon 70D. Can you see that? So whatever camera you use, you need a camera that will output a clean signal. And what I'm talking about is when it sends the video out, does it have all of the camera information on it, or is it just clean video? So in the description below, I got a couple of links that you can go to check to see if your camera produces a clean video. So I'll make a whole video on exactly step-by-step how to connect your DSLR camera and use it as your webcam. But just know that if you want a really good picture that looks like this, utilize the stuff that you already have. So those are 3 tips to help make you look great on your next Zoom call. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you can get notified every time I give you some good tips like this. Hit the bell. My name is Darin Nakakihara, and I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.